Hello guys, how are you? As we spoke earlier, in this stage we are going to talk about how to create a new domain in my domain forest. So I already have my Ode domain, good. So I already have my Ode domain, it's up and running, it's working, and I have my child domain sales. And I decided as an owner to start a new business which is in dairy product, and that's why I'm adding this domain. So I'm building up a whole new domain inside my forest. So my forest now have two domains. One of the domains have a child domain. So for Ode and his son and Milko. So we're going to show you how to create that. It's a very simple process like everything else. We import the VM for the new server. I just imported that and I finished importing it. So saving some time when I'm recording the video. I'm loading it up. I'll come back after it load. So I finished loading up my server and I'm logging in now. So my server is ready. I'm logged in now. I will go to local settings. First of all, as usual, we set up the timing zone. Then we set up the IP address, and then finally we set up the computer name for the domain to the server. So it's always remember these three things. You have to do them every time you do a setup. So here is the timing zone is done. Then the IP address, I'll have to set it up within the IP address range that I have for my network. Good. And in my range, it is, I can't remember my range now, so I'm going to give it some number 192.168.20.19 or 18, whatever the range number that I'm going to give. Default gateway 192.168.20.1, my default gateway. My DNS, of course, as usual, it will be my DNS on the network. And in my example, because I didn't do anything yet, we're still having one DNS until we talk about the DNS in the next class. Good, done. Here's my network configuration is ready. And then I have to give it the computer name here. I have to change the computer name so it will have something physical on that computer name. Again, so I'm going to call it Milko DC1 or Milko domain controller 1. Good. Again, I don't put the domain here. I didn't have the domain yet, so I don't do it. I just click OK. It will ask me to restart the computer. After restart, we will carry on. So my server is back up. Now I'll install the roles as usual. Add roles as we usually do in these steps. I'll cut the video short so it will be faster for you. If you have any questions, just go back, watch back the video of creating a new domain. So when I finish installing the roles and everything is ready, I'll close it. Then I click here and go to promote the server to a domain controller. When we promote it to a domain controller, we follow the standard steps of everything. We are not adding a domain controller to an existing domain. Remember, we are adding a new domain to an existing domain, to an existing forest. So adding a new forest, that means creating a whole new forest. We're going to choose this option. Adding a new domain to an existing forest. Here, it's not a child domain, it's a tree domain. It's a new separate domain. It's not like sales.ode.local. It's milko.local. So it's a whole domain outside the Ode domain. Good? It's a separate domain. And then here it asks me for the forest name. So the forest name is ode.local. Good. And what is the domain name that we are going to add here? So it is milko.local. Now for the credential, again, it's very critical to understand the credential situation here. I have to click change. Good. Here he's looking for the username in the Milko domain controller, in this domain controller that we are just creating right now. So I have to give him the domain controller, the administrator and the username and password of the administrator on Odeh domain, because Odeh domain is the father of the forest somehow. So I have to give him odeh.local /administrator and give him the password for that one. And as you can see, the minute I typed audit.local, he's looking now for the password and the username in audit.local. He's no longer looking for them inside the domain. So you see again, I'll just remove this part. So if you do it this way without this part, it just means I'm looking inside the Milko DC, which is this DC, which is this PC. I don't have that account in there, and that account there is not on the domain yet, so it doesn't have the authentication. So I have to make sure I put audit.local. Okay. Next, it will take a few seconds. Let me see why it's not able to log in. Yeah, I was just typing the wrong password, so it's working now. So on the next step, it's loading. So as usual, next. Things here will be slow. It will take time to switch from one step to another because it has to call the domain, it has to call the network, it has to call the stuff. Good. Next. Next. The rest are just next, 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 technically, until you get to the last step. So install, it will take a little time, it will restart, and we will see you in the next video once everything is up and running to talk about doing the share between the multiple domain and subdomain on the same network. Thank you very much.